Hello, Najah. We are live.
Hey, Ching. Thank you for having
Uh,
me.
Thank you for coming to my, live interview with people special. So, yeah, my name is Ching Juhl. This is a program I created when pandemic starts at 2020
Mm-hmm.
March, and I I feel like I need to connect with my people, my friends, and my colleagues. So I started this. So today I
Mm-hmm.
think it's about over 100, over 200 episodes. So yeah, thank you so
Wow.
much. Yeah, Michael Finn is here. Hi, Michael. And yeah, my special guest today is Najah Ali. She's very talented in many different ways. Project manager, she's a filmmaker, and she is, a woman with many different talents. So tell us a little bit about
Mm-hmm.
yourself, dear.
Well, born and raised in Philadelphia, I went to college in Baltimore and I was a math and theater major. So I have left brain and right brain. I did that the opposite, I think. Left brain and right brain. And so everything creative, but also everything logistical all together is like my bread and butter. It's so fun for me. And I knew that kind of at a young age. When I was maybe 15 or 16 is when I kind of decided that would be my path. I moved to Atlanta immediately after college, and I was an actor. I was a professional actor. I was a Shakespeare actor actually for a few years, and then the pandemic hit, and I realized I didn't want to be an actor anymore. And I had all these other kind of skills from all of the jobs that I had part time when I was an actor because I felt like I couldn't make enough money. So I always had all these jobs. And it all kind of became just a project manager that making sure that events happen on time, people are safe, that people have enough food, that nobody's feeling left out, that things are accessible, things are diverse and inclusive. All those things that can make people having the best experience in their lives just became like my favorite thing ever. So now I just call myself a project manager, even though, that comes with a lot of professional writing, not so much creative writing, but now I started creative writing as a new filmmaker. So as a creative, I would say that I'm definitely in a transition time of finding something new because acting was like my life for basically my whole life. But I'm not scared to start something new at all. That's a little bit about
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I met you in Greece this summer.
Yes,
That was so awesome. And I
it
saw
was.
your, yeah, I saw your work. You were in a part that tell us a little bit about the Shakespeare play, which is a highlight of the whole
Okay.
art festival.
Yes. So I said I'm a retired actor, and of course, if a opportunity like performing A Midsummer Night's Dream in Greece comes up, then I'm going to say yes. Um, so we performed A Midsummer Night's Dream in an open air amphitheater on the sea in Greece, south of Athens, Serenita, or I think the name of that area was called Paiafokia, and it was an international group of actors that we did all of our rehearsals over Zoom. It was very intense, and then we came to the festival and we had rehearsals like 6 hours a day. I was like, this is the actor stuff. I was trying to let it go. Oh my gosh.
I don't see
But it
you
was
in the
so
beach,
fun.
You're not coming to the
Oh
beach with us.
yeah. I went to the sea, I think 2 times because every time I was there, I was just like, okay. But that's why I chose to have a smaller part. So I played Queen Hippolyta, who is the queen of the Amazons. So she typically is actually played like as a double part. So it's usually Queen Hippolyta and Queen Titania, who's the queen of the fairies, because Titania has like this super big part and she has this like very alluring way. But Queen Hippolyta has a different alluring way, but way less lines. So sometimes to save money, usually Shakespeare theaters will cast them together, but this was more, fun and friends. So we did separate. So I was just there, doing a lot of this.
You're the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how is this whole experience of rehearsing so many hours a day? And tell me a little bit more about that because I see you not like every day for so many hours. You know, you just pop
Mhm.
into my workshop, which is a smartphone video production, and then the rest of the time, all you actresses and actors, you all like rehearse so many hours a day.
Mhm.
So what would
Yeah.
you take away from this? Do you think like like would you spend less time if you knew everybody's parts and on Zoom, or doesn't matter how much Zoom
Mm,
you practice, you still have to be physically
mm.
together?
You still have to be physically together because, especially a Midsummer Night's Dream with fights and stuff, there's no way to skimp on it. There is the only thing that was I noticed there were some kind of differences between the American style and kind of the UK style of the director and the stage manager. But the main thing is that because it was kind of short notice when we would all be together all the way, and some actors were coming later, some actors were early. I was there the whole time, like you were there the whole time, but some actors got there a week after that. So until we're all together, then you can't really break down the schedule. So I think we did the best that we could. The best way to perform in this way though with rehearsals is everyone shows up all the time, and then you can work the people that have smaller parts and then hold the people that have the bigger parts that need to be there for longer, is my best opinion. And I think we did basically that.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. So, yeah. Now, one of the reasons I interview you is major reasons because you're the winner of the 1 minute film competition,
Mm,
and I
yeah.
am the sponsor for Daring Danju 1 minute film school. Whenever there's a winner, I get to interview the winners. So tell us a little bit about your project. Like, how was that born? Is the idea you already thought about it, or you went there? Then you're inspired by some people, by the ocean and the tunnel and and all these incredible Greek people. So tell us a little bit about how your project was born.
Sure. So the project is called A Long Walk. And when I got to Greece and I joined the film competition, then my new creative persona was born, which is film. As a filmmaker, I go by Brown Skin Naj. Brown skin doesn't have any has no vowels, only consonants. So in Naj, N-A-J. Brown Skin Naj is someone that I became kind of during the pandemic. She has a voice that is very much all about Black people. She's really focused on having positive ways to show having a Black American life, that everything is not about oppression and poverty, and that the reason that people in the past had something bad happen to them and that they had to go through all these adversities and all these things were for us to be born now and have a good life. Right. So I want to show having a good life. How do we all include ourselves in what it means to have a good life? So I know that my filmmaker self comes from that mindset. I went to Greece and it was so beautiful. It was like so cool. All these things I never saw before. The sea is so beautiful. People are swimming in the sea every day. It's giving them some life. And then, I think we lost Ching for a second. So I'll
No,
just
no,
continue a
it's just your
story.
solo.
Oh,
I show your solo. Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Oh, yay. Okay. So, it's so inspiring. So in the play, then there was a father and a daughter. Vasily and Nefeli is the daughter's name. So they are like the sweetest people ever. And I was like, I'm thinking of what do I want this, movie to be about. It would be really great if I could use Nefeli, and she's like this new actress who's this little teenage girl. She's so cute, and she looks just like Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. So I was like, okay, I know that I cannot make a Stranger Things parody in this 1 minute because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that right now. But I know that I can tell a story about a teenage girl as long as I see what's going on. So Vasily takes us on this trip around and he's showing us all this cool stuff. He shows us this like canyon in the ground and he tells us about the miners and all these things. And there's all of these open tunnels that you can go into. They're not safe. all the way. So you have to be ready and prepared. But he takes us on this trip, and we're inside the tunnel. And I never felt what it's like to be inside like a mining tunnel before, but it's like the air is all still. And it was really scary. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared in here. I have to make a film that is about this feeling of walking into this tunnel, and it's like it's not like the air is being sucked out of you, but but because the air stands still, it's kind of like dead silence, right? So okay, then Vasily and Nefeli have all of these wonderful cute animals, and one of the cute animals was this very well behaved dog. So I was like, okay, well, it looks like we have all the pieces for a little movie about a girl that's walking her dog at sunset, which is so beautiful in Greece. I was always I needed to have a sunset. And she loses the dog, and then she goes into the tunnel. Okay, so I know that these are the beats that I wanted. She comes, and then I don't want it to be something scary that, oh, like now kids can't watch it. So in the end, she's looking for the dog in the tunnel. She comes out of the tunnel. She's running away. She's scared out of her life. Now it's dark outside. And then a man comes up, and he found her dog. So, it's all good, basically. But yeah, so I had all that's basically on my parameter sheet, the Darien Donju 1 minute film school. Then we work on only making films about things that we have access to. I'm not going to be able to make a film about me going to Mars in a real spaceship because I don't have $1 million or millions of dollars to do that. Right. So, but I know I have the sunset, the dog, this teenage girl, and the support of another actor to kind of play this finder.
We're supposed to do
And that's,
the stories in Greece, right? At
yes,
that location. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So I use Greek people
Yeah.
and it,
Yeah.
really helped.
Yeah. So, I have that ready. Shall we watch it? It's only 1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
1 minute film. It's called A Long Walk. And let me pull the screen sharing. A Long Walk. So this film is called 1 minute. It's part of 1 minute film school. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. So I'm gonna go all the way to the beginning and make the screen bigger. So this is a long walk by Najah Ali and part of the Darren Dangshu 1 minute film school competition.
Hey everybody, welcome. So I'm just opening my door right now. See? No. Booby. 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 Oh, I can hear him barking.
This is your dog.
Oh,
Yay! All right.
yay.
Yeah. So let's see. Let me close this. Yeah. Wonderful. Um. So tell me a little bit about the creation process. How did you get the sound audio? Like, do you
So,
this whole thing is shot on a smartphone?
yes, I used 3 iPhones, um, iPhone 13 and two 13 Pros. And the sound, so basically, I know that I really like the style of holding the camera vertically because I know that I hold my camera vertically almost all the time in my regular life. So it doesn't make sense for me to tell a story about a teenage girl walking her dog if she doesn't have the camera like that. So I had Nefeli holding the iPhone 13 the whole time. And basically everything that we recorded, she was always recording and holding the phone in her hand. So she grabbed all the audio from that. And then the only thing that was made in some magical way was the dog barks, because their dog is so well behaved that he basically never barked ever. And and he would run towards Vasily, the dad, all the time. So sometimes I have to cut a shot because the dog would stop running or run the opposite way towards his master, which is so cute and funny.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So, how is the editing process? Did you get a lot of footage down, or do you get a necessary one and just easily put it together?
I would say that maybe every little scene I did maybe like about 5 takes. There was quite a bit of that road when you see her like walking in the sunset, kind of looking around, and she starts calling the dog's name. We did get a lot of footage of like this really creepy, like all of this ruined house and all stuff. That's the only thing that was totally lost. But yeah, otherwise, then most of the stuff that we didn't use was front camera stuff, because I really just used that mostly in the beginning. But yeah, I would say that maybe I used 20% of the footage that I shot, maybe even less than that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really wonderfully done. So, you won the best picture for this competition. What else did you win?
I won Best Sound. I shared Best Screenplay with another winner, and Best Actress from our darling Nefeli.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. So,
Thank
from
you.
this experience, are you gonna make more films? Is this your first film?
That was my first film ever. First time
Awesome.
ever holding the camera and calling the shots in that way. Ah! Oh my gosh. It was so I was scared. I was so shocked at the end. Yeah. But now I am in the next phase, I guess, or the next competition. So this month, in about 10 days, is the deadline, December 24th, for the next Arian Danju Women in Film School, which I think is a really good way for me to understand things as a director and a creator, because it's 1 minute there's almost no risk in 1 minute, right? So I'm doing 2 films, which there's a little bit of risk in that. But if I don't finish one, what's the big deal? I'll still be able to submit something. I recently went to Hawaii, so the only thing that you have to have in this particular 1 minute film school competition coming up is that it has to be about the holidays. So because I took a trip to Hawaii, I was like, okay, another thing like Greece. If I'm there, I might as well just go ahead and try to shoot something. It's only 1 minute, just figure it out. If I need to do some of the back work later, then it's okay. So that one is going pretty well. I used DaVinci Resolve for my editing, and I definitely was grabbing a lot of B-roll in Hawaii just because I was like, maybe I can use this for something else later anyway. But yeah, so this one is, I don't know why I'm always like coming from this voice of a teenage girl. I don't know, maybe I'm still feeling like I'm a teenage girl in my mind or something, but I do have a teenage sister. So I used her as my actress this time, and this one is called Lost and Found. I'm always losing something clearly too, so maybe I need to work on a different story type. But it's a girl that she is going on. She like asked her mom for this Hawaii, Christmas in Hawaii vacation. And if anybody's ever been to Hawaii during Christmas time, they go all out. There's Christmas stuff everywhere. There's huge trees. There's ribbons in the bushes and the trees and the palm trees. It's so beautiful, but also cool. But it's never going to snow, so it's weird. And yeah, it's so
No
funny.
white
But
Christmas.
yes, it's just like a warm, windy, like beautiful Christmas. But she is like so excited, and then she realizes that she didn't bring her bathing suit, which is like the big thing. Like, okay, like I came to Hawaii to be surfing and in the water and stuff, and she just sits there and she's trying to figure out what to do. So she's just like upset, and she magically finds this way to make her Christmas dreams come true. So yeah, stay tuned for that one.
Yeah. So let's talk about if someone does not know what is a Darren Juhl 1 minute film school, do you have any summarize for that enterprise?
Yes. So Darren Juhl's 1 minute film school is a process. It's a film school that takes you from the moment of pre-production all the way to post-production and everything in between. It has kind of the most streamlined, easy to follow, and just direct kind of assignments that all lead you to the best success, right? So he gives you every single step that if you use it every time that you make a film, then you should always be able to make your film from start to finish, right? Because a lot of times we're making these films, we work on these projects, and something gets lost, the project never gets made, right? For these hundreds of reasons, millions of reasons, whatever. But this method is always going to be able to get you from start to finish, as long as you're doing all the steps. One thing that is a little bit kind of funny, so I'll say what are the different assignments that are expected of us. So parameter sheet is one where you say, okay, what kind of film am I having? What's my genre? What is it going to be rated? And what are the things that I have available to me, right? Because you can't, it's not that you can't, but you should not be thinking about making films, in my opinion. This is my project manager mind of, do not make a film with things that you don't have the resources for, right? Because the things that if you don't have the resources, the film is not getting made, or it's going to not look how you want it to look, right? So then why are you making it? Because you want it to be what you want it to be. The next thing is the script, of course. So for the competition, typically the screenplay is one of the cash prizes that you can get, which is really nice and wonderful. And then you're going to build your shot list from that. You can also, or you also need to build your storyboard. So the shot list is like shot by shot. So you look through your script. Your script should only be one page because it's 1 minute per page and script writing. So your 1 minute, 1 page script, you break down every single thing like that you want to see. And so let's say that you have, and I know it sounds like, oh, like how many is it, like 3 shots that you would get? But even that, those shots, I think I had 12 shots and a long walk, if that helps. I think, yeah, it might have been 12 or 13 shots in my shot list. And the shot list, of course, can change, when you actually get the footage and things like that. But the next is the storyboard. The storyboard helps you to understand, okay, so I know that I want to get these shots, but how do I tell someone else what the shots should look like? Because everything shouldn't be in your brain. Like filmmaking and making films is not a one-man job ever. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, it can be, I guess, but yeah, you're a little bit dramatic. Not all of us can just not do anything like that.
Yeah.
The hardest part of the different assignments, I would say, is the animatic, because it's something that like I don't really. It doesn't give me anything to make animatic sometimes, but I know that I made my animatic after I made my film when I made A Long Walk, which it still is nice though. But it's basically like you put all of those images of how the story should look, so you can see that the story will make sense or like be kind of a fluid story, and then you make the film. So I think those are all the assignments. Those are all the assignments I'm expecting to do.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm not missing anything.
So I met Darren Juhl on Clubhouse, and he did his 1 minute film school on Clubhouse. So he has a reputation on Clubhouse. Now this is first time. That was the first time he brought the whole 1 minute film school to Greece, right? So we would we had a really great time. We don't get up at 8 a.m. right? I mean, we get together. What was it, 11 a.m. at the cafe, where is an outdoor cafe. We have breakfast, and then we we have our school. Yeah, that's a pretty unusual school. Part of the reason is because I think they had some venue we can go, but the venue closed or people did not commit, right? So we ended up kind of homeless a little bit, but then we find this really cool location where looking at the sea at the left and looking at the swimming pool at the right, and then they serve you like gorgeous, food and drink and coffee. So we got a lot of work done. Yeah. So yeah. So tell me a little bit about like you are actress and now you make film and you were a project manager. So uh all of these are kind of artistic things, because and being an actress, you're an actor, you're art, you're in art, and making films, you're another art. When you say you are a project manager, what kind of project did you manage?
So right now I manage a lot of events for a social work company that I work for. So I try to have creative events for our clients, and films, of course. So, project management for films is called different things, but really it all comes down to project manager of producer, first AD, or first assistant director, and production coordinator. Those kinds of things still fall into that same stuff. Also, weirdly enough, I do project manage a lot of model events too. So that's my DC network, is mostly models. So the model events that I do are fashion show parties type style. So sometimes it'll be like 3 events in one day kind of thing. So they're like jam-packed power weekends, those ones. So I typically only do those a few times a year.
That's wonderful. So when you manage them, what exactly you do? Do you doing scheduling for them, or do you walk them through the show? I actually shoot a lot of like Mercedes fashion shows, when they had this, the whole, what do you call, exhibitions. And so yeah, it's very intense, and there's so many things behind the scene, right?
Yeah. For the modeling fashion show events, I would say that those come to me pre-scheduled. So I'm more of a day of project manager or event kind of day person. So that means that I manage a schedule to make sure people are on time. So project management to me is making sure that things are on time and on budget, or under budget, hopefully. Because when things start to change as the day unfolds, then sometimes those changes incur more cost. So if you didn't kind of mitigate the risk of how much will I be able to spend on an emergency happening, then you didn't project manage your event properly, to me. Some other things it means for me is I write contracts for whoever I'm contracting to run, workshops or classes for my social work company. I'll make sure that all the supplies are bought. I make sure to kind of verify how many people are going to come, make sure that I have enough food, who's going to be then I make sure that all of the rules that are going to happen are able to be assigned, or that we all know who's going to be doing what, because, these things usually take a team. So communication is one of the main things about project management, and making sure that the communication is open and that everybody can go to somebody for the answer. So a lot of times when I'm doing events, my phone is just blowing up for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Now, I understand you have received over 300,000 in grant funding for, creative things. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. So for social work, my social work company is a for-profit. So the model's a little bit different than what people know about nonprofits and getting grants and things like that. Because a lot of times when I write grants here, then it's to the government. So I'm saying, hey, we serve this type of community, and you guys have this funding for. So the government, they'll have these bulletins that come out, and it'll say, we have $1 million that we can give away for tech for folks under this qualification. So if I think that we're eligible, then I get to work and I write a beautiful story about why we can change lives by giving the money. Because people's lives can really change by being introduced to technology, being introduced to different kinds of creative things. It might change their behavior. It might save their life, honestly, right? So the stakes are as high as life or death to me sometimes, or a lot of times when I'm writing these grants in that way for the government. Nonprofits are different. So nonprofits, then it's typically, it's not that it's so much less money, but it is a little bit more challenging because there's way more people that have nonprofits, right? 501c nonprofit style. So for the nonprofits, then the main thing is making sure that you're eligible, because there are a lot of private grants out here. So many. I write a newsletter, actually twice a month, for a nonprofit that I feature a lot of grants nationwide. So I read so many grants. And if you are a person that's looking for money by way of grants, you have to be abreast of what's going on and who's giving money for what, right? So find out who are the key players. There are some foundations that are all based about dance, right? Or they're all based about dance in New York State. I know those things don't apply to me, but maybe I'll meet a dancer that lives in New York State that I'll tell about the grant. So for me, it's kind of like I have the keys to show all the grants, and I know that I'm about eligible for maybe 10 to 25% of grants that I read per year. So that is a lot of money that is still being offered for all of these different things. One of the main grants that I like to look at once a year, and I think this is so important for every creative, is Creative Capital. They offer, their grant is like 50K plus 50K. So like 100K altogether, but 50K is for your project and 50K is for your like professional development. So that is like, they are one of the wonderful ones that we kind of know about, but those grant processes are super intense because a lot of the grants for nonprofits, they take way longer. They have a jury of people, and then it might take a year for you to get the money. So then it's kind of like you're holding on to this big idea, and some people get scared to share their ideas. But needless to say, grant writing is all about telling your story. You have to know what is the beginning, middle, and end of you having this money. Because if you don't know what you're going to do with the money, you just want some money because now you want to do something or you want to be inspired. Those grants, they are few and far between because no one wants to give you 50K if they think that you're going to throw away 50K. You have to be able to budget your money. You have to be able to show that you have people to back your plan. You have to be able to show that you can build a team. Have you ever done a big event before? Have you spent your own money on your own self? These things all matter.
Very, very well put. Yeah. I think that the whole process of a grant application is really like a whole sort of, you can, take a course on it. It's like one, because it's, first of all, you have to research, like you said, and then you have to find a niche is suit you, whatever you're doing, right? Yeah. So, and then I think you need to follow every step of the requirement. You cannot have any shortcut, right? Yeah. So that's a lot. It's a daunting task. I have applied for grant before, but they're not huge grants, small ones. But I understand it's a whole world of knowledge and practice, right? And execute, and then finally, get where you are. So that's wonderful. Yeah. So rewind a little bit. Where are your artistic talent or your sensibility come from? Are your parents in arts?
Yeah. So I come from a super art positive family, which is, I'm lucky to say, of course, but I'll tell you that. So religiously, then I know this sounds like I'm not talking about this, but I am. So religiously, I grew up and I first was in the church and then we switched over to Islam when I was about 8. So in the church, okay, then music is a super huge part of the church. And when I was in the church as a child, then this is the church that like my extended family went to. So there was about 20 people in my family that went to the same church, and most of us were in the choir. I had a little solo when I was little, it was my first time singing in front of people. But musically, then my family, they were all in this church, but also they had a singing group. So I come from this, locally known gospel singing group, the Ballard Family Singers, who I got to sing with this year. This is my first year ever being invited to be a part of it a little bit. But yeah, so I come from like big time music. One of my cousins is an opera singer, and she writes opera and has the best voice I've ever heard in my life. My mom went to creative and performing arts, and so did some of my cousins, like my mom's cousins. So creative and performing arts is like the super art school here. We create kind of a lot of Philly talent. Boys to Men and The Roots were both like enrolled there during high school at the same time, which if you can imagine walking down the hallway and then Boys to Men's in the choir and The Roots are in the band, like what a cool time, And that's the time that my mom was in high school with them. So we're all very art positive. Here, my dad is really focused on a radio show, and like he has his own like online radio station that he's very focused on the church now, and that way too. So I know that it sounds like, a lot of creativity with religion, which not all creatives are like that. But for me, my story happens with those things being intertwined, and that creativity is a positive thing that children can do and that people can do in general, because you're not hurting anyone by being creative. You're just creating beautiful, wonderful, different kinds of things.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And do you play any musical instruments?
Okay. So I used to play the piano, which I did start trying to learn the song that I used to know how to play when I was in high school. But the last time I was like playing and singing at little open mics was when I was in high school.
That's great. So since I met you in Greece, and I remember you were very unusually met me. We met in a large group at the first day when we get there, and we didn't really say hello to each other because there's a lot of people. And then I remember the next time is we were waiting on the line of some kind of restaurant, right? We have to wait. And then you said something to me. You said you said something like really interesting. You said, did you say tell me 3 things about you that I should be your friend? Something like that. Did you remember what you said to me?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I said, tell me 3 things about you that are friend facts.
Oh, okay. And then what did I say? What did I say? Do you remember?
Okay. Oh my gosh. I think that you might have told me that you're a musician then. Okay, so I just know about you that you play viola and violin, but I think that came up. Maybe that you live in New York City came up. Then it's hard to distinguish because now I just know stuff about you. But I'm just gonna take a guess about the last one.
I think I said. Do you remember more what I said? I thought. Okay, I don't remember for sure. I thought I said something like, "I am loyal."
Oh,
remember? Yes. Right?
Okay. Yes. Wait, you want the whole thing?
That's funny. Yeah, and then I said something else.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember. And like I think I said I'm loyal, I'm reliable, or something like that. Sounds like when you write these things on when you're on Match.com. I am loyal.
Wow. Be my friend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can trust in me. But anyway, that was very unusual what you said. So we had a really great time, and I really think this whole trip, the whole trip I met so many wonderful people from Netherlands, right? From where else? Very far away in Europe, and people from England, of course, a lot of English people. And then you, and we're the few people actually came from States, right? Johanna from Boston, and Darren Dangju, and you, and me. Who else came from States?
Heidi.
Oh, she's so much fun. She's crazy, but she's fun.
Oh my gosh,
She's so much
yeah.
fun.
A
She's so
lot of
much fun.
actors, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like most of the actors came,
Yeah.
or it was like, yeah, some actors.
So tell me a little bit about like how, like why did you choose to go?
Okay, so here's my funny story. Is that Darian Donju is one of my best friends. So we tell each other about where we're going and all the stuff. Oh, like exciting trip. Oh, we like to go on exciting trips. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna travel all these places. So I started writing this little list, and Greece was at the top of my list. I swear to you. And I wrote this list in August, at the beginning of August or end of July. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go to Greece, and then I wrote a couple other places. And then like a week or two later, Darren was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Greece in September. And I was like, I have to go. I have to go. I was like, this sounds amazing. Okay, what creatives? Oh yeah, Clubhouse. Oh, I'll sign up for Clubhouse right now. I'm going.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that's how.
that's how. Yeah. So what are the highlights of this trip?
For me, highlights were good food. Oh my gosh. Good fresh food. Eggs that are so fresh that they're orange. What?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Like,
They're
oh
orange.
my gosh.
That's true.
It was delicious. And fresh squeezed orange juice. Oh my goodness. And always looking out and seeing the sea. So having like almost all of the restaurants all being open air, like no windows, you're never closed off, and you can just like saunter in and just sit down and somebody will come up to you. I was like, this kind of very relaxed culture. I was like, I kind of like this. Okay. Yeah. So that kind of stuff it's like a very free place. You can tell that this is a place where people walk with their shoulders back, and they kind of like have that sway, You're just like so relaxed and laid back.
Yeah.
And just beautiful.
Yeah.
And of
And
course, beautiful mountains.
we're talking about the city of the area, right? What is it called?
Serenita.
Yeah. So it's like 30 minutes drive from the airport south to this area. And tell us a little bit about the trip you and I went with Darren Dangju to this temple.
Oh my gosh. Poseidons Temple. Talk about drama, okay? This place, it's like, it felt like 1,000 people are trying to get up here to see this beautiful, like, temple of, because, the Greek gods and goddesses, all this stuff, they all, a lot of them have temples. So we're going up, and like, we're walking up, it's so windy. I just remember the wind being like so intense, and it just is like all this peace. And one of the Greek people, they told me that Poseidon's Temple, so if you guys haven't seen it, it's like all these pillars kind of thing. Think of Greek ruins, but not really a top or anything like that. So this is a place, even though there's nothing above it, nothing like protecting it from the top, birds never poop on it.
Yeah.
It's like this like holy place or something. It was so cool. It's like, and it's like a peninsula, right? That I was on. Yeah, so you're kind of going up, and then it was just incredible to see. It was, so it's one of those things where you're like, wow, I am alive.
Yeah.
I am alive. And Anastasia brought us there, who is like the super tour guide of Greece. And she was telling us everything, and she showed us what those food boxes that if people were traveling, people would put bread so that you would always have food while you're traveling.
Yeah.
And it'd just be free food.
Right. Oh, you mean this little like a temple, isn't it?
It would be like temple mailboxes or
yeah.
Temple okay.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to find. So I still have still have some pictures of us, going on that trip. And it's funny, we tried to conduct Clubhouse while we're on this trip. Do you remember?
Yes. Yes.
And that's so crazy.
Anastasia's like, wait, I have to leave now. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was
you
so
guys
crazy.
are talking on Clubhouse, and then she's like, can can we go? And I was like, okay, okay.
I know. That's crazy. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find our picture. So I'll show you if I can share. Okay, so
Mhm.
let's see. I'm going to show. Let's see if I can share a screen share. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see this one. This one. Okay, here. You can't really see the temple, but we were at the sea.
Oh,
Did you see it?
yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. So the background is sea. And then I'll show us another one. Whoops, what happened? Um I'll show us present screen share and screen share. And how about this one? Oh, this one just me. Look, this is the one of the shop. I think either you
Yes.
or Darren Dangshu took.
It probably was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was taking basically smartphone photography sessions while taking your pictures.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
wonderful. And so,
Really nice.
yeah, so do you see yourself going back to Greece?
Mm, I think so because I didn't go to the islands and I was like, I think I should go back and visit some of these islands.
Mm,
I heard so many good things and they're so beautiful. So
mm,
yeah, I don't see why not.
yeah. So, have you been traveling to other countries? Like, do you have any thoughts about sharing other culture, like in other country?
Yeah. I started up weirdly this year, maybe post pandemic,
Uh-huh.
or
Uh-huh.
openings after pandemic kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I started off going to the UK. So I went to London and I went there with my sister. She was studying abroad there for her master's.
Uh-huh.
And that was really nice. I had such a good time and I realized how much of a city girl I am. I also went to Ireland on that same trip and had the best Guinness I've ever had. And I will never drink Guinness outside of Ireland.
Yeah.
Of course, we went to Greece. And this year, I'm trying to think back. Um, hmm. And this year, also I went to Italy a couple times. I
Yeah.
am obsessed with Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I almost forgot, but Italy has like some of the best fashion I've ever seen in my life, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it brings me fashion joy.
Which
So
city did you go?
in Italy,
Yeah.
I went to Milan
Uh-huh.
once earlier in the year, and
Yeah.
then I also went to Venice and Verona.
Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. Venice. Um, Venice. Yeah, I was there twice. Yeah. The one time is winter time. One time
Hmm.
is summer. Summer is really hard to see the city because it's all you see is people. All you see is the head. You just, yeah. I want to say hello
Yeah.
to some of our guests, our people. Malcolm, how do you say that? Malcolm Jefferson. Hi, how
Oh,
are you?
that's my cousin. Hey.
Hi, cousin. How are you? And then we have Shukfin Tech is a Mark, my friend. Have you met Shukfin,
Hey.
Nasha?
No.
Oh, he's just like me. We're a Clubhouse addict, you know. We're always on Clubhouse.
Okay.
We live
I'll see
on
you in Clubhouse
Clubhouse.
then.
Yeah. And then Nick is my friend, my Yangon partner. If you have watched my film, my Yangon Diary,
Hmm.
he is one of the main character. Yeah. So people joke about said this film should called Ching and Nick, not my Yangon Diary. And then my son is here. Shaw, hi. Thank you for
Hey.
coming. Yeah, Michael is here. Michael is my also friend from Clubhouse. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. If you have any questions for Naja, and please type it in the below. And we are about to 5:52. So we're very I usually in the end of our session, we do a rapid fire. Would you like to do
Okay.
one? Or oh,
Yes.
by the way, do you have anything else you
Hmm.
wanted to promote before we do the rapid fire? Like, do you have anything you want to tell us? What are you
Um,
doing now?
for me right now, I don't have anything in this next month besides the 1 Minute Film School. So if you guys can vote for my film or both of my films when that comes out, that'll be great. It'll be Darian Donju's 1 Minute Film School. He puts all of the films on YouTube.
Yeah. Now,
And yeah.
yeah, now you are relatively new to Clubhouse. So tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about Clubhouse, why people should join.
Oh, okay. So for me, I'm auditory, right? So I love to talk and I also love to listen to people. It's how I remember the most things. So Clubhouse is all of that for me. Also, I can talk to anybody all around the world. There's always a conversation going on. That is also a way that if I miss some news headline, then I'll know that it's happening because someone has a room about it. So I'll be like, wait, somebody did what? And I look it up and then I'm like, okay, what are people saying about it? It's so fun. And sometimes I spend 8 hours on it. Last night I was on Clubhouse all night while I was working, and it made it better that I was in the office until like 1 a.m. because I was talking to all these people, keeping me up and keeping me like.
I left
having fun.
1 a.m. You're still there, right? I was there.
Yes. Oh wait, you were there last. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it can be
Wow.
very addictive, right?
Yes.
It's
Totally
like
addictive.
it's like when you want to talk to someone, right? You cannot just call your friend because your friend may be in a different time zone. Maybe your friend is sleeping. But you go on Clubhouse, you can always find somebody to listen or somebody to talk to. It's like a therapy 24/7.
Yes, it is. Because no one cares what you talk about too.
Yeah. So of course, through time, I've been there for a year and a half now. I built a community. So if I want to go talk to Chinese, I have a Chinese group. If I want to talk about film, I go to a film group. If I want to talk about politics, I'll go to politics room. So there's a lot of different topics you can go in, and you can just, if you don't feel like, you just listen, and but if you feel like participate, you can participate. So I recommend people, if you don't know what the heck is Clubhouse, give it a try. Give it a try. Right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Especially if you love podcasts, it's like being able to have an interactive podcast that you can ask the questions directly to the people.
Right.
It's very cool.
Right. Definitely. Great. So yeah, great to have you. Let's do the rapid fire. Are you ready?
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Simple. What's your favorite color?
It's dark green.
Dark green. Okay. What is your dream vacation country?
Dream vacation country, New Zealand.
Which book do you read recently you would like to share with us?
Kindred by Octavia Butler. It's just been turned into a Hulu series. So yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. It's freaking me out to think about the book and watch the show.
So it's a fiction, right?
Yes, science fiction.
Oh, okay. What is your favorite television series?
It is. Oh, the first thing I was going to say was The Office, but The Office, South Park, and Lost.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Oh, by the way, this is not the rapid fire. I saw 3 episodes of Henry and Meghan and Henry. It's about Henry the Prince. Yeah. It just came out. Yeah, it just came out. Yeah. So the next episode is tomorrow. So because they they have 3 first. Weekly. And then tomorrow. Very interesting. Check it out. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
then. Meghan and Henry. Yeah. What else? What is your favorite food genre?
Pizza.
Oh, it's funny. That's so funny. Oh, okay, pizza. And if you won a lottery for $25 million, well, how would you spend?
Pay off all the debt of my family. Easy. That's 1 million. Then buy everyone $1 million house in my intermediate family. And then set up an art fund for someone, for a bunch of different people in America. And then $1 million shopping spree.
Yeah. So where you
And
shop?
senseless.
Let's talk about shopping. Shopping.
Yes.
So what is your top like 3 things you want to buy?
Like clothes or just like a car? Oh, clothes.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
So top 3 things. My top 3 things I want to buy are one, simple, like a very nice leather black dress that is tailored to my body. Easy. Second, I would have to get a Birkin bag. Like I would have to people have to know that I had like BK one time just to put on a bag.
Oh, so shallow. So
And
shallow.
oh my gosh, it's true. And then my last thing would be probably something educational, I don't know, maybe master classes or try to get a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something like that. Now that I just realized how shallow the other 2 were.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Segue. I said to myself, I'm not gonna buy a piece of clothing in 2023 because I have too many clothes. I don't even know,
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if it's true. Okay, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can do it. Anyway,
I'll keep you to it.
yeah. You'll keep track of me. What else? If you have, I asked that to a lot of people. If you have an opportunity to invite 3 people have dinner with in separate time, who are these 3 people?
So dead or alive, is that true?
Dead or alive.
Okay. So 1, Queen Cleopatra. 2, Michelle Obama. And 3, this woman, her name is Harriet Ann Jacobs, and she wrote Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl.
Very good. Very
Those are my 3.
Yeah. So what do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'm going to have this beautiful house and 5 children in it.
Oh, you better start today, right now.
Oh my gosh. Some of them will be adopted. And also I have this like crazy events company that is in the works for me. That'll be really great.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And then some of those kids will be old enough. They'll be adopted so they can be any age, and they'll be old enough to work at the events company.
Yeah, put them in work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I know you're staying out of trouble.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So now you live in Atlanta now, right? Is it your choice, or is it you happen to be there? Like, if you had a choice, what city would you like to live and work?
Any city, and I have all the money. So if I had all the money to live in any city, I would have a place in New York City, Atlanta, and LA. And Chicago, I would say, but it gets like a little bit too cold in Chicago for me. So I would have to have these 3 cities because they have the most creative communities and fun creative things going on. I do live in Atlanta on purpose, but I come to Philly like half my time because I work here too. So I am bouncing between 2 cities already.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you cook for yourself? What do you cook?
Typically a lot of shrimp, honestly. And I make a lot of soups. Yeah. Shrimp and soup. Yeah, shrimp is my favorite thing to eat, outside of pizza, of course. But I can eat. Yeah.
Can you order a shrimp pizza?
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Wow.
shrimp pizza. It's like a Hawaii pizza. They put a pineapple on, right? You can probably have.
That's true. I'll try the shrimp pizza. I'll tell you how it is.
Yeah. Well. So I don't remember we went out to drink in Greece. So if I would take you now to a happy hour, what would you order?
I would order a mezcal double on the rocks. It should be, it has to be like, if it was to be any price, then it should be kind of top shelf, but I love like smoky tequila. So mezcal is like my favorite, but I can't get it everywhere.
Wow. This girl is high maintenance, you guys. I'm
Hey.
just I'm just simple, give me a glass of Merlot, I'm happy. Anyway, so yeah, great. So great to see you right now, and I'm so honored to have met you in person. Because a lot of people I talk to,
Yes,
interview to,
same.
we haven't met in person, so it's wonderful. Last question: coffee or tea?
Coffee. Yes.
Well, I look forward to have you come to New York City. I'm sure sometimes you will
Mhm.
come and let's hang out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I can't
yeah.
wait. Thank you so much, Jing, for having me.
No, thank you for coming. And I want to thank our guests to be with us. And I want to also tell people if you feel like, and please subscribe this channel. I interview people every Wednesday, pretty much, Friday, 5 o'clock at Eastern time. And I think you are my episode like 201 today.
Yay. 201. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 201. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you on Clubhouse, and we'll see you in, I look
Mhm.
forward to see your new film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'll see you on Clubhouse probably sooner rather than later. Maybe even
yeah,
today.
yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
Nadia,
Thanks,
you're great
Jing.
and so great to see you. And yeah, and be safe. And still this COVID thing is out there. So yeah, be
Yeah.
safe. Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. You too.
Okay. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody. And tune in next Wednesday. Okay. Bye. We're going to end the
Bye.
broadcast. Bye bye.